Okay, so it is about time we put an end to all of this cosplaying. We got to put an end to all of these tethers playing vital foundational Black American roles. This is a rumor that we're not going to allow to exist. This is not going to happen. We're going to stop this before it happens.
The price of freedom is death. We're coming to get our check.
Welcome, family. I appreciate every single last one of you all. Thank you all for listening. We have much to discuss this evening, my exceptional brothers and sisters. First off, I want to say thank y'all for y'all patience. I had to reset the whole laptop. It was having small little technical issues, whatever the case may be. Listen, I want to start this off by saying that there is a rumor going out that there is going to be a Shaka Khan biopic, and the star of the rumor is going to be Cynthia Erivo. Now, I will say, as of right now, and I did my digging, did my research, did my due diligence on it, I have not found any solid source that confirms this to be true. Okay, so as of right now, as of the recording of this live stream, it is a rumor. Now, when I found out it was a rumor, I still decided to, because I looked it up to see if it was true or not when I heard it. And I looked it up to see if it was true or not. And I found out okay, I haven't really found no reliable sources that confirm this. And then I did just digging down the rabbit hole. And I was all like, you know what? We still going to have to talk about this, because I don't even like the fact that this could be a rumor personally. The fact that this even got to a point where it's a rumor, it needs to stop. We need to discuss this, because I'm starting to realize this whole replacing FBA actors and actresses and putting British people in, that's gone on way too long, and we got to get ahead of this. This is too much. It's too much. Cynthia Erivo has gone too far with this, and I'm glad that right now, because it hasn't been confirmed, what I think they're doing is they want to do it, but they're kind of letting it be a rumor just to kind of test to see what the community's temperature is on the situation, and that's kind of what they do a lot. Like, they want to go about something, but they don't want to, they kind of weighing the controversy out. So they're dipping their toe in the water, and they're kind of seeing okay, is the temperature kind of good? Is it cool? The temperature's warm, the pool is warm. Okay, go in. So a lot of times what they do, this is what Hollywood does, they'll leak things out as a rumor, and if they get good reception from it, okay, bam, it's true. If they get bad reception from it, we were never going to do that in the first place. So this is kind of where it is right now. This is what I suspect. I'm not in Hollywood. I can't confirm this, but this is what I suspect based off of what Hollywood is known to do. All right. So I want to put the brakes on this right now and put a big barrier there. We are not going with this. We is not going with this. And this is why I'm glad a lot of foundational Black American brothers and sisters are making a lot of noise about this. So we don't even have to deal with it being confirmed and then us having to try to combat the Shaka Khan disrespect that we know we're going to receive. So we're not even dealing with that. All right. I'm going to play the copyright disclaimer, because I'm going to play some of the clips that I've been seeing of FBAs not tolerating this at all. We on the front lines letting it be known we ain't playing with this, and it's not even confirmed yet. That's how serious we are right now. We're gatekeeping the lineage. This is how serious we are. So I'm going to play the copyright disclaimer to establish to YouTube that everything we play thus forth is protected under the guise of fair use. All right. And as I'm gone, what I would appreciate for you guys to do, really appreciate for you guys to do, is hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe, chat in the chat section, and we will be right back. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. All right, we're back with it. Okay, let me show y'all some of the receptions and some of the things that I've been seeing a lot of foundational Black Americans say about the situation. Hold on. pull this up real quick. Hold on. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, let me refresh the screen. Okay, hold on. The laptop is acting a little slow. Had to update it. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna make it big. I'm gonna actually make a big screen for you guys. Make it a little bit bigger for you guys, so y'all can really see. You know, and I just so we know, I don't want nobody to be like, it's not confirmed and y'all doing all this. No, we just making sure it don't get confirmed. All right, listen to this.
Revo is playing Shaka Khan, bitch. This just pissed me the fuck off. First of all, Cynthia Erivo is a British Nigerian. Y'all know how the fucking Black Brits feel about Black Americans. Second of all, she made some nasty tweets in the past mocking us, talking about how we got a ghetto accent, standing up for another non-Black American person that was making disparaging tweets and comments about us. She downplayed the Black American experience, continuously inserting herself in issues that did not pertain to her. And she's playing Shaka fucking Khan. Shaka Khan is from Chicago. Shaka Khan considered herself an indigenous Black American person. Blackfoot, to be exact. This is so disheartening. I don't understand why they continuously allow people. First of all, she played Harriet Tubman. Bitch, I need to throw something. Why are they doing this? And this makes me so sad because I love Shaka Khan. Oh my God. Like whenever I'm out singing open mics, y'all know I'm obsessed with karaoke. I'll be singing Sweet Thing. I love Shaka Khan. Like I'm every woman. Why are they like allowing people that are not from our lineage to play our legendary people? Just because we have the same hue of complexion, I just don't understand the infiltration that's going on. And this is not me saying that, you know, other melanin-rich people from throughout the diaspora shouldn't get work, but to play our legendary artists, they don't really have no direct relation to them. I would even prefer Onika Trinidadian beautiful ass to play Shaka Khan. A Nigerian British person. These people don't even like us. She don't even like us like that. What the? This hurts my feelings because now I can't even go and support the movie. And I love Shaka Khan. I'm not going to see that. I'm just not. Like, and a Black American actress that could body that role.
Look, now she's going off, okay? And is she wrong? Is she wrong? No, she's not. Is she wrong? No, she is not. Okay, let's see how much, because I forgot how the length of time. I want to see how much exactly. Oh, no. Don't do that, laptop. Don't trip on me. You're always doing that. Okay, we only got a couple more seconds because there's some more people mad about that.
I could have fucking played Shaka Khan. I gotta go. Spread love is the Brooklyn way. This really just hurt my feelings. I'm so tired of them doing this. And it's because we allow it. Because we really thought all skin folk was kinfolk, but we've been seeing clearly it's not. Are y'all okay with Cynthia Erivo playing Shaka Khan?
Look, I'm not. Let me show y'all some more of the videos. Let me show y'all some more. Because I'm saying this is just a rumor. And FBA TikTok, and I guess that's the thing now, FBA TikTok has gone off. Ain't nobody feeling that. Nobody is feeling that. And let me show y'all. It's a lot of people who is upset with just the thought of Cynthia Erivo, of all people. First off, her being non-FBA is more than enough. But then her disrespect of FBA, because she's well known to be disrespectful to FBA. She's well known for that. Okay. So ain't nobody feeling that.
Lady from Wicked?
Hold on. Nobody at all. Let me show y'all. Take it back.
Why the fuck is that bald lady from Wicked playing Shaka Khan? Y'all gonna have her ass playing Whitney Houston in the next movie, Aretha Franklin in the next movie? Like, what the fuck?
Now, what's funny about her playing Aretha Franklin is that she actually did play Aretha Franklin. There was a movie that came out a few years ago. It flopped terribly. They don't even want to tell you what the budget was. And that's why I want to play that particular video. She did. And I'm telling you guys that this is something. Because we're going to get back to the video. I'm telling you guys this is something because why these are significant foundational Black American roles. And it seems like she's first in line anytime they want to do an FBA Sisters biopic or adaptation of her role, whether that's Harriet Tubman, whether that's Aretha Franklin, now it's Shaka Khan. It seems like Cynthia Erivo is first in line for all of these roles. Okay, she's not got no big fan base like that. Nobody likes her like that. Nobody's checking for her like that. She's not playing these roles well. All right. Nor does she have any respect for these roles, but she's first in line for all of these roles. It's deeper than what you guys think. It's an agenda behind the whole thing. Let her finish. All right, here we go.
The reason why I thought Angela Bassett was Tina Turner growing up is because they're both African American. The reason why I thought Jamie Foxx was actually Ray Charles growing up is because they are both African American. And the same reason why I thought Jennifer Lopez was actually Selena growing up is because they are both of Hispanic heritage. Selena's Mexican American, Jennifer Lopez Puerto Rican American. So why the fuck is that bald lady from Wicked playing Shaka?
Okay, now she's saying African American. We already know we retiring the term African American, so we already know about that. But yeah, these people have our FBA icons have done so well in these roles. It's kind of hard to see anybody else playing these roles. Their adaptation of these roles, their interpretation of these roles are so masterful. It's really hard to top. Like, it's hard to follow up behind that. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to follow up behind Angela Bassett. It's hard to follow up behind Jamie Foxx. It's hard to follow up behind Denzel Washington. It's hard to follow up behind them. You kind of can't. It's hard to follow up behind them. It's hard to follow up behind Will Smith. It's hard. It's almost not possible. It's very close to being impossible. Let me show y'all, because they still going off.
No rumor, we don't want Cynthia Erivo to play Shaka Khan. Nobody wants that. I hope we can make that clear. We're not going to see that. Rumor or no rumor, we don't want to.
Oh, and that movie, I hope they don't think that movie will be successful. Because that movie is only going to depend on FBA's approval. And FBA is showing you right now, making it abundantly clear that we is not going to see that movie. Making that abundantly clear. This room is going to stop tonight.
No black person not about to see that Shaka Khan movie. Why the fuck you got Cynthia Erivo playing Shaka Khan? First and foremost, the broad don't even like Black Americans. I'm tired of y'all for trying to force her on us and have her in roles that center Black Americans. Second of all, she don't even look like Shaka Khan. You've got a Nicki Minaj. And mind you, Nicki ain't a Black American either. But at least she grew up in the fucking culture. And she really do look like that lady. She looked like a young Shaka Khan. And Nicki, she can act. The one thing I can say that, like, we seen how she was in that goddamn fucking movie. What was that fucking barbershop movie? The girl can act. She got a little few acting chops. Why the fuck y'all couldn't get old girl? She probably could have got clean from. But no, like, for real, I'm not watching that shit. I'm not watching that shit. Get someone else to do it. Like, I'm tired of Cynthia Erivo. Like, I can't stand her. Like, I don't watch nothing she's in. Why did you get her at Shaka? Hollywood, no black person not about to see that Shaka Khan movie. Why the fuck you got Cynthia Erivo?
And that is one thing too. You know what I'm saying? Not to be petty. It maybe I'm gonna say this because I don't want to be a bully on YouTube. I'm not a bully. But a lot of people, I'm not saying myself, but a lot of people think that Cynthia Erivo is ugly. Now, I'm not giving my personal opinion, But a lot of people, I'm just telling you what I've heard. I've heard a lot of people say that Cynthia Erivo is a weird, skinny, big-headed, weird-faced looking, ugly sounding woman. Okay, that's what I've heard a lot of people say. I'm not saying that I think that, because I don't want to bully her. I'm saying what I've heard people say. Okay, this is hearsay. Okay, that she's hideous, that she looks like an alien. Okay, they did say that there were FBA looking or black looking aliens, so a lot of people are suspecting that she might be an alien among us. I'm not saying I'm saying that. I'm saying other people are saying that, and I'm saying people say that she don't look nothing like Shaka Khan, nor will she ever look like Shaka Khan or anybody. Okay, that's like I said, because I don't bully people. Y'all know I don't bully people. Okay, I'm just too nice for that one. But I will relay information of what I heard other people say, and I heard other people say she was ugly. So you know what I'm saying? It looks like a couple of you guys maybe think that too. So that's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? I'm not bullying. Me never. That's something I don't do. Let's get a little bit more of this. I'm telling you, the community is going in.
They saying something.
Y'all better be glad y'all didn't rush to confirm this. Y'all better be glad. Y'all didn't rush to confirm this one.
Erivo playing Shaka Khan. What is happening? I just, child, what? They need to stop. They really do. I already made a video about how I'm not happy about Cynthia Erivo in any way, shape, or form. I said I would accept an apology, but all the people in my comments was like, they don't want no apology. They just want her to go away. And after she played Harriet, I never watched that movie, and I never will, because I just don't think it's right for somebody who disrespected Black Americans by saying we didn't have no culture should be playing Black American icons. And now we already had her playing Harriet, which, like I said, I would never watch. And now she's playing Shaka Khan? Is this for real? Like, don't piss me off. They saying Cynthia Erivo.
Hey, man. Hey. And we ain't even getting... It's something in particular with Cynthia Erivo, but it's a little bit deeper than just Cynthia Erivo.
Fucking hate Hollywood, bro. This is why I fucking hate Hollywood, bro.
This is from my brother Leo. He's also from Chicago too. Shout out to Leo if he's seeing this. Look at this one. Okay. Then we can like really like get into it.
I fucking hate Hollywood, bro. This is why I fucking hate Hollywood, bro. So, Shaka Khan, who would you like to play you in your new biopic? My daughter. Oh, you don't mean that. You don't mean that. We have the perfect person to play you. We have a perfect person. Bring her on out, guys. Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. I'm Cynthia Erivo. Hi, everybody. I think this is the perfect opportunity for me to play Shaka Khan. I think I have the perfect facial structure. I'd love to play this role, isn't that? No, we don't want you playing motherfucking Shaka Khan, you fucking butterbean, handsome Squidward, alien verse predator, hit ass motherfucker, bro. We not doing this shit. This is why, bro, I swear to God, I speak for all Chicago when I say, please do not fucking take that motherfucking role. Like, we are so sick of y'all. We sick of Hollywood and they dusty asses losing money all the time because they don't know how to fucking read the fucking room. Y'all niggas is fucking annoying as shit. Stop doing this. At this point, bro, just say that you don't like Black Americans, bro. The reason why you go against Shaka Khan's wishes to fucking cast her daughter as her in her fucking biopic and basically cast that motherfucking, bro. Just don't do it, G. I fucking hate Hollywood, bro. This is why I fucking hate Hollywood, bro. So, Shaka Khan,
okay,
who would you like to play you in your new biopic?
The video gonna repeat itself. But yeah, first off, yeah, shout out to Leo. Okay, holding it down. And I think he makes a great point. Shaka Khan, first off, is still alive. Shaka Khan is still alive, okay? So if you want to have a respectful documentary, or not a documentary, like a drama or something like that, a auto pick or whatever they call it, like a dramatized biography or whatever the case may be, you can go ask her for her approval on all of that stuff. Who would you think would play you? Who do you think would be a biopic? That's what it's called. I don't know why my brain forgot that. A biopic. Thank you. Who would you ask her? And whoever she says, I think, give her a few names. Just give me a few people, okay? I want her, and her. Just these three people, I'm fine with either of these three people. And of those three people, you can do three people. Maybe you could do even 5 people. 3 people, 5 people. And if those ones that she's already approved of, so no matter which one you pick out of the 5, she gonna be cool with it because she already pre-approved of them. Then all you gotta do is pick more, ask the actress, get their cosign, get them to get on board, and then bam, you got it. And bam, you got a movie. Shaka Khan, of all people who you need their approval of the most, need her approval of the most, is going to co-sign it, because you going ahead and you seeking her approval, and she's giving you her blessing to make this movie. You know what I'm saying? That's how you do it. Now, the thing is that they're probably not going to want to do that because the person she's going to pick is more than likely going to be her daughter. That's the truth. More than likely, it's gonna be if I had a son and I wanted somebody to play me when I was in my older age or whatever, I'm picking my son unless my son don't act at all or whatever the case is. Don't want to do it, not interested. Okay, yeah. Now maybe her daughter might not want to do it or whatever the case is. Then you would give it to somebody else. But that's the thing; they're completely dismissing all of that. All right. Let's get to some of the super chats real quick. Let's get to that. Shout out to Armand Nisi, she says petty, F no, to Cynthia Erivo and Ava DuVernay, who they're claiming is going to be the director of the movie. Shaka Khan has a daughter who is her mini-me. Exactly, she has a daughter. They're not even like, what are we doing at that point? Okay, Blacklight Andrew says, brother, you could have given a viewer discretion before showing that. Look, I'm sorry. Yeah. It's a little bit early for some Halloween, right? Omar, appreciate you. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's a little bit early for Halloween, but come on. Now, some people are saying Nikki just based off of looks. You gotta, first off, sing and act. You know what I'm saying? Nikki looks way more the part than Cynthia Erivo, but I wouldn't, if I was picking, I wouldn't pick Nikki. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't pick Nikki at all. Let's not do that. I do that. But it makes me think though, there's something there that they're consistently picking British people to play FBAs. All right. It's something with it. And when we call it out, they call us xenophobic, divisive. We hate everybody. That's not the case. Okay, and this is something that is well known even in Hollywood. Let me show you a clip or play a clip from you. Samuel L. Jackson, he was on, I think, Hot 97. He was on some interview. I'm not exactly sure. I don't remember. But he was on an interview. And this was all the way, I think this was in like 2016 or 17 when the movie Get Out with Daniel Kaluuya. Daniel Kaluuya was playing the main character of Get Out. And if you guys have seen the movie, it's about an interracial couple. It's kind of like a drama horror film, and interracial couples trying to steal his body and stuff like that. And the movie just came out. It was a lot going on with the Oscars. But Samuel L. Jackson said something very important about just FBAs playing in that role. Okay. So let's listen to what he had to say.
I think it's great that movie is doing everything that it's doing, and people are loving it and they're feeling it,
and some hating it, and
well, we know who hates it. But the thing in my mind is, I know the young brother is in the movie, and he's British, so there are a lot of black British actors that work
all
in
the
this country.
time,
all the time. So I tend to wonder, what would that movie have been with an American brother who really understands that in a way? Because Daniel grew up in a country where they've been interracial dating for 100 years. Britain's, there's only about like 8 real white people left in Britain. The rest of them, mixed. So, what would a brother from America have made of that role? And I'm sure the director helped. And some things are universal, but everything ain't.
That's right.
Okay. He's gonna play a little bit more. But this is exactly what we've been saying. It's not complicated. It's not a secret. It's not something that we're making up out of nowhere. Some things, yeah, you can say are universal, but everything ain't, man. It's really not. When you really want to get deep into the culture, when you really want to get deep into certain things, you got to actually go to the soil. You know what I'm saying? It's something about it. It's something about growing up. It's something about growing up in that environment. It's something about the culture of that environment and just having the experience of that environment that you can understand and you can add to the role, and this isn't to say that non-FBAs are not good actors or actresses, but you guys would be great actors and actresses if you guys were playing your culture. I couldn't play a British person better than y'all could play a British person, okay? I couldn't do that. I couldn't even play a New Yorker better than a New Yorker could play a New Yorker, all right? If I was an actor and they gave me a role from New York, I would have to find a way to put on a New York accent. I would have to, learn about the New York culture. I might be able to do it really well. I would not be able to capture the small little fine details that people really appreciate, that the audience really appreciates, if I'm not from New York. And even if we're all FBA, because FBAs in New York, FBAs in Chicago, we can relate to the cultural aspect, but then there's still even a regional aspect. Y'all get different slang. Y'all eat different snacks and different foods. Y'all hip hop is a little bit different. Y'all fashion is a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? So it's y'all events are a little bit different. There's some differences between Chicago and New York. So if I was to go over there, people would be like, nah, a New Yorker really wouldn't have said that. That's not our reaction to that. You know what I'm saying? It would be different. Okay. So you can only imagine if somebody is coming from a whole different country where their culture is not even connected to the American culture, they're not going to know. Like Samuel L. Jackson said, yeah, y'all been interracially dating for a minute. The stigma of interracial dating or relationships is very different in Britain than it is in America. And you're bringing that to America, trying to put your mind in a role of somebody who has not experienced that. And it would have been better. And I'm not saying he did a bad job. I don't think Sam was even saying he did a bad job, but it would have been something more to it. It would have been more soulful. It would have had something with more substance to it if a FBA had did that role. Because FBAs, we understand nuances and details about our life. We understand what it's like to walk into a store and you have an employee helping you out the whole way through. We get that. How many times? Raise your hands in the chat room. We're going to get back to it, but I want everybody to raise your hands in the chat room because this is something we all know of. How many times have we went into a store and we just kind of looking around or whatever, and you have this employee, this white employee just helping out, and they just happen to be stacking shelves in every lane you are in. In every lane you in, they sit up there messing with the cans. Now they folding the clothes. Then they, you know what I'm saying? They looking at the vacuums. They messing with the toothbrushes. They all over the store, just happen to be around you. They just happen to be cleaning up right next to you. And constantly like, if you need anything, let me know. I'm right here behind you on your shoulder. Like, we know that. We understand that. So when you get somebody from another country who, trust me, we understand that, especially when you're young. Like older FBAs, it's kind of like, they don't really do that to older FBA. When you're young in FBA, they get it. We get it. We get, especially when you're young. Okay. We truly understand that. We even understand the situation. That's why the situation with Latasha Harlings affects us so deeply, because we understand the instant racial discrimination when you walk into a store. We get that. And they send up there calling the cops on you because they claim you stole something because you picked it up and you put it back. How many times when we used to go, and I'm gonna get back to the video, but when me and my brothers used to go to, you know, the dollar store, 7-Eleven, Walmart, whatever, that at the time they used to have a Kmart. They don't really have Kmarts anymore. When we used to go there, we used to think we gotta buy something. I'm telling you what. And nobody told me this. This is how y'all know our lineage is locked in and connected. We would think, oh man, if we don't buy nothing here, if we just walk in, walk around the store, and then walk out the store and not buy anything, they gonna think we stole something. They gonna think we stole something. We gotta buy a can of pop. We gotta buy a candy bar. We gotta buy some bubble gum or something like that. We gotta do something. Otherwise, when we walking in the store, we looking around, we walking out the store, they gonna think, okay, they ain't bought nothing. They must have stole something then. So we don't even want people looking at it like that. So now we got to save up a little bit of money for some a can of pop or something like that. We got to do that. And this is something in our culture, and a lot of you guys are agreeing because a lot of you guys already understand that. Okay, y'all already understand the side eyes and the hurry up and buy and do y'all need any help? We get it. Okay, and these are people who are coming from countries that don't operate that way. So you're trying to act a certain way and you're doing your best to act a certain way, but you don't get it. You can't add more to it because you're not from it. You're not from it. You're acting. Okay. We don't even really got to act because we already know what we would do. We already know how we feel. We already know what we would say. So that's what Sam is talking about. That's what he's bringing up.
You know, which is one of the things about, you know, about Selma and some other things. I go, well, you know, there's some brothers from America that could have been in that movie that would have, you know, had a different idea about how that works or about how King thinks or about
what
how
is that
King
casting
felt,
thing?
Now, he also says Selma. That's another thing. The Selma movie, because there was a movie of Selma called Selma. It was about Dr. King, and they had another non-FBA play the role. His name is David Aluo, I think. I don't want to mispronounce his name. And I'm not even saying that I've seen some like anti-FBA comments from him. I don't know if he has any resentment against FBAs, but I'm going to be honest. Now, he might not have no disrespect or no resentment against FBAs, but I'm going to be honest. How many of you all remember that movie? And I'm not even saying this to be disrespectful. I'm not saying this to throw shade, but I'm saying this to just be for real. Let's be serious. How many of us remember that movie? How many of us like quote that movie? How often does that movie get played? That movie is not like an icon in the Black community. It's not. That movie is very forgettable. Okay, and that might not be all his fault, but if he's playing Dr. King, he got the biggest role in the movie. He's supposed to be the one bringing the movie home. And ain't nobody even really thinking about that movie. Now, people still talking about the movie where Malcolm X played. Well, I said Malcolm X. Where Denzel Washington played Malcolm X. You see how easy it was? I was like, when Malcolm X played Denzel Washington, I almost slipped up. But when Denzel Washington played Malcolm X, people still, and that movie came out in the 90s. This movie came out, Selma, I think in 2015, if I'm not mistaken. I think in 2015. I don't know the year. I don't remember the year. But come on, like what, you know, what? No, nobody really brings that movie up. People still bring up Ray Fox with Ray Fox. Lord have Jamie Foxx. People still bring up Jamie Foxx and for the roles he's played. Aretha Franklin, the role she's let me stop. I'm getting them confused. Angela Bassett in the role she's played. Like, people, when you are a FBA who plays an iconic role and you nail it, okay, people are always going to remember, which is why it's so hard to come after that. It's so hard to kind of like do better than that. Okay. It's really hard to do better than that. Okay. You ain't really seen no Muhammad Ali movie since Will Smith did it. All right. You ain't really seen that. Okay, you've seen like small little things. You ain't really seen no big Malcolm X movie since Denzel, because ain't nobody can really top that. Okay, you ain't seen no Ray Charles movie since Jamie Foxx. Who gonna top that? Who gonna top Angela Bassett's Tina Turner? Who's gonna top that? Why try? Okay, you know what I'm saying? So there's things to a movie. There's things to a movie that's beyond like just picking somebody who looks the part or even can act. There's an essence to the main character that you want to have, and it's a certain unique foundational Black American cultural essence that we will have in connection to these vital characters that you have that you just not gonna get when you're getting somebody who's British. And I'm not trying to throw shade. I know it seems like I'm throwing shade. I'm not trying to say he's a bad guy. I'm not trying to say he's not a good actor, but I'm trying to say the movie's been forgotten. That is what I'm trying to say. I'm gonna just be real. Folks don't remember that. And if you would have got an FBA person to play that role, like Samuel L. Jackson is saying, there's an element that could have been added to that role. You know what I'm saying? There's an essence and a feeling that could have been added to that role. You know, a certain spirit where a lot of it you can improv a lot of, and I'm gonna show you some of the things. A lot of in the Malcolm X movie with Denzel Washington and Spike Lee, Denzel was really coming up with a lot of that stuff. It was off the dome. He was just coming up. He was improving a lot of the stuff, and Spike Lee was just filming. He just like, hey, don't turn the cameras off. Just record it. A lot of that stuff, because he was able to like really get in tune. He was able to match the frequency of that character. That's just something non-FBAs can't do, even if they're not bad. And they might be great in other roles, but they just, when it comes to Dr. King and you know, Aretha Franklin and Shaka Khan and Harriet Tubman, they can't hit it. They can't hit that mark. They can't do it. All right, they can't do it. Let me let them finish. Hold on. Okay, there it is.
Where you get the British black actor versus the American black actor to play the black. What is that?
They're cheaper than us for one thing. Huh. They don't cost as much.
Oh, wow.
Well, okay.
In an interesting way, unless you're, unknown brother that they're finding somewhere. And they think they're better trained for some reason than we are because they're classically trained. I don't know what the love affair is with all of that. You know, it's all good. Everybody needs to work, but there's a lot of brothers here that need to work too.
Yeah.
Right.
I always wondered that. I didn't know if.
Oh, yeah. And let's be honest. Yeah, we all like, yeah, they could use work. But look, come on now. No, I mean, let's be honest, there's a lot of FBAs who could use work. It's a lot of young, inspiring FBA actors and actresses, you know, who would love to play these roles. You can't tell me you can't find somebody. And the narrative is maybe they are cheaper, I suppose. But let's be honest. Would you rather have a cheaper main character or pay some good money for a main character that's going to make the movie an iconic movie? You cheapen out on the main character. It would be one thing if these were side characters or if these were the antagonists, but you're trying to cheap out on the main character. If that's what you're trying to do, I think it's a little bit more devious than that. But if that's what you're trying to do, cheap out on the main character, you know what I'm saying? And the movie flop. I'm gonna give you an example. The movie, there was a movie recently in 2022 with Whitney Houston. This woman played Whitney Houston. She's a British actress. Okay. Naomi Aki. Naomi Aki. I think that's how it's pronounced. Naomi Aki is British. And the movie flopped. The movie barely made any money. It barely broke even. Okay. Because nobody was trying to see that. She didn't really capture that. A lot of people had issues with that, man. A lot of people didn't like that. A lot of people did. I'm gonna be honest. Even when the same character he was talking about, Daniel also played. Where? Come on now. Daniel also played in a movie called Judas and the Black Messiah, where Daniel played our brother, our foundational Black American activist from the Black Panther Party, Fred Hampton. And I saw the movie, but to be very clear with you, he wasn't even the main character of the movie. The movie, if you guys have seen the movie, I'm pretty sure you guys will agree with me. The movie was really carried by, I guess, the co-actor or whatever, the co-star, which it happens to be a foundational Black American, Lakeith Stanfield. And it's very interesting. They made Lakeith Stanfield play the quote-unquote Judas, which was William O'Neill, the person who set up Fred Hampton. And that was the FBA. So the FBA was the antagonist of the movie, and the Non FBA was the Fred Hampton of the movie. So we're starting to see, because Samuel L. Jackson said that was like, that interview was like, what, 2016, if I'm not mistaken, 16 or 17. And we're starting to see this a lot with every little thing. So it's not a coincidence. Okay. You're seeing it with movies with Dr. King. You're seeing it with movies with Harriet Tubman. You're seeing it with movies with Aretha Franklin. You're seeing it with movies with Whitney Houston. Now we're starting to hear rumors about the same thing with Shaka Khan. And we're seeing this all over the place. So we're sitting up there like, okay, well, hold on. What really is going on? You know what I think? I think that they do it because it's not because they're saving money. I think they're really doing it because they really feel like this is their way of kind of pushing us out the room. This is like an ethnic replacement. Okay, follow me. Because people look back. We have to understand these movies are going to show in theaters now, but when the children grow up, they're not going to see it in theaters. They're going to watch this on Netflix, Hulu, whatever. They're going to watch this on a screen, on their computer, on their laptop, on all of this stuff. And when they see depictions of our icons, they're going to see their faces be a face of somebody from the UK, of somebody from the United Kingdom, of somebody from London, of somebody from Nigeria, of somebody from someplace else. And it's a way of really pushing us out, because representation really does matter. Okay. Which is why a lot of people, especially when it talks about biopics, representation really does matter. Okay. It shows a people, not just a character. Okay. Because a character is living in a time. Just follow me, right? The character, when we talk about the movie Selma, and we talk about the situation with Dr. King, the movie is about Dr. King. Dr. King is the main character of the movie. We understand that. But the movie is also about the environment and the essence and the feel and the vibe of what was going on during that time, which is why they don't make Dr. King films about the future. You're never going to see a Dr. King. Dr. King goes into the future and there's flying saucers and robots. You're not going to see that, because the movie has to be placed in a certain time. So there has to be a certain feel and a certain vibe, and everything has to connect. Okay. And there's a certain essence to it. All right. Everything has to connect, right? This is why the movie Sinners with Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan did so well, because Ryan Coogler is FBA and Michael B. Jordan is FBA. This is why it did so well, because Ryan, I watched many interviews where Ryan was talking about how he made sure everything connected. Everything was the way it was supposed to be in the Mississippi South in 1920. The catfish is fried a certain way. The barn is put up a certain way. The decorations is put up a certain way. The store looks, every little detail about that looks a certain way. Okay. From the wardrobe to the set, to the music, to the instruments, everything about it. Okay, because Ryan Coogler, his family is actually from Mississippi. I'm not sure exactly where Michael B. Jordan's family is from. It may be Mississippi, it may not be, but he's also FBA. So when he's playing, and he played 2 characters in that movie. So when he's playing both of the characters, he's able to kind of tap into a culture because it's his culture. He's not looking at a culture through a window. He's in it. He's of it. And that's why that movie really blew up. And look at Sinners, and now look at Selma. Look at Sinners and the way people were talking about Sinners, and now look at Harriet. Look at the way people were talking about Sinners, and then look at the way people were talking about the movie with Cynthia Erivo and Aretha Franklin. Mind you, Aretha Franklin already announced who she wanted to play her, and she did not say Cynthia Erivo. Just keep that in mind. Okay? Because there's a cultural element to this. Let me show you. This came out, I think this interview came out in 2016 because they were doing a press tour for the movie Friends or something like that. Okay. And this is what Denzel Washington had to say about culture and how important that is in movies.
Wow. In 7 guitars. And I think that's the way characters come to you when you're an artist. If your spirit, your imagination, your skill, your brilliance is open enough, they come into you and you either accept them and hear them and listen to them, or you don't. And he did.
So August Wilson could write for a woman.
One of the things he said is just what Viola said when I was up there with him. I was asking, well, how do you go about it? He said, well, I lock the doors and shut the windows and do everything. The characters come in the room and they talk to me and I write down what they say.
Mm-hmm. That's powerful. And that's a gift. Mm-hmm. So why did he need a black director? Could a white director not have?
It's not color, it's culture.
Explain the difference, because I think we're
Steven Spielberg did Schindler's List.
Mm-hmm.
Martin Scorsese did Goodfellas, right? Steven Spielberg could direct Goodfellas. Martin Scorsese probably could have done a good job with Schindler's List, but they're cultural differences. You know, I know, you know, we all know what it is when a hot comb hits your hair on a Sunday morning, what it smells like. That's a cultural difference, not just a color difference.
Right.
So it's the culture.
You know about a hot comb? So now
No, she don't know about no hot comb. You don't know nothing about. See how everybody laugh? That's a cultural difference. That's not a race difference. That's just that motion. That's all I gotta say, right?
I know what a hot comb is.
Okay, all right.
This is all we're saying. It's not rocket science. It's not. It makes perfect sense. And I love the way he explained it, and he gave an example and a perfect analogy. He explained that perfectly. Absolutely perfectly. Okay. The fact that and then he told a joke, and the fact that everybody got it. Everybody got it because everybody understands. Yeah, we already know what it is. Even if you're, a boy, you grow up as a male, and you probably didn't have the hot comb hit your hair or whatever the case is. Because I'm gonna be honest, in FBA culture, at least when I was coming up, all black males, at least when you're young, all black males had to have their hair cut low and even. Okay, FBA brothers, black me up. Tell me I ain't lying. When you a kid, your hair was all the way cut low and even. There was no fades, there was no afros. Maybe if your parents was a little loose, they would have maybe a design in your head sometimes. But I'm gonna be honest, most of the time, all our haircuts had this. Your haircut looked like your brother's haircut, looked like his brother's haircut, looked like your friend's haircut. Every black boy had the same. You had to go through that phase. It's a character development phase. Okay. It's a character. Now, the women, y'all was able to grow y'all hair out and put bralettes and stuff like that. All our hair was off. Okay. Sometimes it depends on who sometimes they would just you would look damn near bald. Okay. You would look bald. And tell me why. And y'all would, because we FBA, we understand. You would still have to brush your hair. You would barely have any hair on your head. And your parents would still be like, brush your hair. because they would see the little naps in the hair and stuff, like when when you got 4C hair and the hair starts to kind of nap up a little bit around, you start seeing them circles. You still have to brush your bald head, because even the small little thin strands of hair you had on your head still got to be straight and got to be neat and brushed. You still got to see a little wave on your scalp. Now, am I lying? I'm not lying. Come on. I'm not lying. We all went through that. It's the mandatory low haircut for black males. We all had to go through it. The mandatory low haircut. Okay. It's a part of our development. Okay. Yeah. Now it depends. Sometimes your parents will let you get a little bit more hair. Sometimes you pretty much didn't have no hair. It's like a buzz cut, pretty much. But your hair was low. Okay. At least when I was growing up. Nowadays they don't really do it like that. They ain't strict like that. But yeah. But I would still know about what that smells like, because my mother would do that to her hair. They would use a hot comb and all of that. So I remember how that smelled when my mother was doing that to her hair, or even the certain shampoos and straighteners and curling irons and stuff like that. I know how that would sound, or how that would smell, because that would happen to my sisters. That would happen to my mother. So I know how that smells, even if it didn't happen to me. You understand what I'm saying? So we all know about that. Okay. Let's be honest. As FBAs, look, this is how you know it's a cultural difference. We know about when they got those really big old metal clippers, and the clippers, you turn them on and they be loud. It sounds like a damn lawnmower on the side of your head. How many of y'all grew up with super loud clippers, and they would clip and the thing would kind of shake a little bit, and they would have to hit the thing to get it to stop shaking and then go back to your head? It'd be super loud. Okay. We all know this. That's a cultural thing. So when you coming from a community, when you coming from an environment that didn't happen, and you got to play that, you're acting that when you can get somebody who's of that. That's what we're saying. That's what we're saying. So when Sam was talking about, what more could have been added if you would have had a Black American brother play that role, a lot more could have been added. Okay, let me show you this other clip. And this was when Denzel Washington was playing Malcolm X, and this was what Spike Lee had to say about it.
If someone is held back for a long time, just in physics, if you're holding something back, when you let that thing go, it's probably gonna fall straight down. I think he is, as much as any other African American, with the exception maybe of Martin Luther King or that people that we know about, he was able to pick people up to get them out of that position. He was a wake-up call. He was someone who was able to change the balance, to make people think about themselves in a new light. If you have been taught for years, hundreds of years, that you're an animal, that you're worthless, that you're nothing, then you'll start to believe what you're taught. But he began to make people think about who the person was that was telling you you're nothing.
Okay, hold on. Well, that was an important clip, but that wasn't the exact clip. And then we get to Spike Lee. Okay, I guess I played the wrong clip, but that was still a good clip. Hold on, let me see. Where did that clip come from? Okay, well, I guess we don't have the. Let me see. Oh, there it is. Okay, here it is.
We got his best speeches. We pulled them out and we put them in the script. And when we were doing these speech scenes, he would come to the end of the text and I wouldn't say, kind of keep on going. And Denzel would continue for another 5-10 minutes. This Malcolm verbiage coming out of his mouth. And I was finally say cut. And Denzel would be spent. We had this blank stare in his face, and he said, Spike, we said, couldn't remember what he said. That's the type of spiritual, thing that Denzel was working on this film.
Yeah. He was reason why that movie turned out to be so well is because there's a certain essence, it's a feel and a vibe and a frequency of that character, it's the spirit of that character that everybody just can't tap into. Denzel was able to tap into that so much that Spike was just like filming damn near everything Denzel did, and he just did it just so effortlessly because he like saw what that character was and appreciated. And that's why the other clip, when Denzel was talking about how much he appreciated and he knows about Malcolm, which is why he was able to land the movie so well and it was able to do so great in the movie. Now, I'm going to give you another example of why this has to be FBA, okay? Because acting is cool. There's some cool non-FBA actors. You guys may be great in a comic book movie. You guys may be great in even a fictional movie. But the thing is that when you're playing a comic book movie, they're not real. Superman is not real. The Black Panther is not real. Spider-Man, whoever, you know what I'm saying, or I'm talking about Black, you know what I'm saying? They're not real characters, you know? So how you play them is how you play them. Even if you're playing a serious movie, if you're playing the cop finding some murder or something like that, okay, it is what it is. You can play anybody randomly. I'm going to give you an example. We know in 12 Years a Slave, we already understand about our history with slavery. Lupita Nyong'o played a slave in 12 Years a Slave. Lupita, I think, now I saw the movie only, I think one time, like 1.5. I didn't finish watching it. Lupita played a great role. Okay, everybody loved her role. I don't think anybody said she did bad. But let's be honest, Lupita, she just played, and no disrespect, a slave. She just played a slave. Now, you can dislike the movie. There's a lot of problematic things about the movie. I'm talking about her role. She just played a slave. She didn't play a significant role like that. It's one thing if these are side characters or whatever the case is, if they're roles that are kind of like universal, like how Samuel L. Jackson says, some things are universal, but everything ain't. Even though Lupita Nyong'o, she can act. I give her credit. She can act. She can't be a Harriet Tubman. She can act. And she might be good in a Harriet Tubman movie as a great side character or something. Maybe one of the slaves who ran away with Harriet Tubman or whatever the case is. She might be a phenomenal side character, but she couldn't be the main character because Lupita Nyong'o, despite her acting ability, there's a essence that she can't tap into because she's not FBA. She's not of that culture. So no matter how well she can act, it's beyond acting at this point. I want you guys to understand that it's beyond acting. And I don't think anybody wants to see another slave movie anyway, but it's beyond. But I'm just talking about if we did do a Harriet movie or whatever, it's beyond acting. It's a essence. It's a cultural vibe in essence, a frequency to it. Do you understand what I'm saying? That she might be great, but she can't get like that. She just can't get that. Okay, she couldn't be a Madam C.J. Walker, or she couldn't be a Harriet Tubman. She couldn't be a Sojourner Truth. She couldn't be that. She couldn't be that. Not that great. Okay, and I'm saying this because this is beyond acting. I'm not even saying this to throw shade. Okay, but what's going on is now you're having non-FBAs play FBA roles, and they don't even know nothing about it. They don't even know about these roles that they're playing. A few years ago, Disney did a special called MLK/X, where they did like, I think 6 episodes where they kind of like 3 focused on Dr. King and then 3 focused on Malcolm X, who also they had being played by a non-FBA, by the way. But they had in this movie, Coretta Scott King and Betty Shabazz play kind of like bigger roles in the episodes. You know what I'm saying? They were kind of trying to show their relationship dynamic between Dr. King and Coretta and Malcolm X and Betty. All right. So they had this non-FBA actress who played Coretta Scott King. And I want to show you guys this real quick. Let me show y'all this real quick. Hold on. Where is it? Where is it? Okay. It's about right here. Come on now, play. Come on now.
It's such an amazing project, but I got
Now listen to this.
rave reviews. It's such an amazing project, but I got to talk to you, Shay, first about the fact that the creators said that you not only were you the first person to read for Coretta, but that you, as soon as the Zoom was over, which I love that auditions are on Zoom now.
Yeah.
As soon as that was over, they were like, that's the person for this role. Did you have that same feeling?
I mean, I kind of feel like that after every Zoom, but I don't get every job.
Yeah.
Okay. Wanted to play that. Okay. She said that she got the now you can clearly tell she's British, but she got the role. She was the first person to do the role. She was the first person to audition for the role and got it instantly. She got the role instantly. Now, that means that they had already made their mind up before they even looked for anybody else. And it's interesting. It's not like she's no well-known actress that's gonna have people watching just to see her. It's not like that. She's not that. People didn't really know her like that before. But listen to what she says about the situation, or about Coretta Scott King. I think this is very interesting as well too.
That you were able to be a part of a project such as this and being able to contribute to the education of what's to come with all of this.
You got every single thing that got me. I think the biggest part was being part of the education. I ashamedly didn't know much about Coretta Scott King myself, and so researching and learning about this role, getting the role in the first place, made me go and do a bit of research, and then getting it, deep dived into it, and I was so surprised and kind of upset that the information isn't like that readily available.
Okay, what? So she got the role and doesn't really even know about Coretta. Notice how she said that she had to learn about Coretta after getting the role. So it's not like she had like, oh, there's a role for Coretta Scott King. Let me study up on Coretta. Let me listen to her interviews. Let me find out about her. Let me do all of this stuff about her. She don't know nothing about Coretta Scott King. She said so. And the second she got the audition, she got the job. So this is what we're saying. You are overlooking real talent, people who probably would do way better. And I saw the MLK and X thing. They didn't really land it. She's not landing it. She don't even know who she's playing. She's just playing a role to play a role. This is just a job to her. All right. She don't know. She didn't grow up hearing stories about Coretta Scott King and people even talking about Coretta Scott King or Dr. King, even for that matter. She don't know about these folk. She's just acting. She's just playing a role in a job that she don't know that much about. So she is definitely disconnected from even trying to tap into any essence of that. You understand? Listen, let me show you something else. This is, let me share this from Twitter. Okay, come on. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to press the other button. Look at this. Okay. Make this a little bit bigger for y'all.
I love this angle, looking at really the personal lives of these two couples, of these four individuals. Ruchi, I'll start with you. What did you learn about Coretta Scott King, about the relationship that you brought to light in this?
Oh, I learned so much. I'm British, so we don't actually have that much information, and it's not taught about Martin Luther King or Coretta Scott King or Malcolm X or Betty Shabazz. And so when I got this job, it was a wonderful opportunity to completely educate myself and be part of the process of educating a new generation and the next generation about Coretta Scott King and Martin.
Now, this is what we're saying. y'all giving folk the roles. Y'all literally giving folk the roles, and they don't know nothing about these characters or these people. They're not characters. These people, they're admitting, hey, I don't really know nothing about them. In Britain, we don't really talk about Dr. King or Coretta Scott King. I don't know. I just auditioned. But yet you saw how the white lady was all like, oh, isn't it amazing? You're the first person they auditioned and they instantly gave you the role. They didn't even really try to look for nobody. So there's this thing of they're overlooking foundational Black Americans who would play the role better for British people. Who the British people are even admitting that, hey, I don't know much about this. Now, then listen to what she has to say. Listen to what she has to say next.
I think especially the women have been sidelined a lot in the civil rights movement. And so I think that was definitely a highlight for me to be part of highlighting the women and their contributions to the movement. Absolutely. I love this.
Okay. I got something else. I got something I want to say about that too. The whole thing of yeah, and that's like a little gender division thing, and I'm not even I ain't even really feeling that. I'm gonna keep it a whole stack with you, keep it 100 with you. I don't really like that. Like okay, what is Coretta Scott King highlight? Let me be so serious. I'm not even gonna tell a joke right now. I'm really not. Is Coretta Scott King highlighted and spoken of like Dr. King? No, we know that. Is Betty Shabazz highlighted and spoken of like Malcolm X? No, we know that. As true as that is, okay, but let's be honest, they're not as highlighted not because they're not amazing women or not because we don't respect the women. They're not as highlighted because their husbands happen to be one of the biggest icons of our lineage. They're two of the biggest icons that we have, that we speak of all of the time. So yes, they're pretty much going to be overshadowed by their husbands. If both of their husbands, whether that's Dr. King or Malcolm X, if both of your husbands happen to be like some generationally lived and beloved icons, yeah, you're going to be overshadowed by that. And that's just the truth. And this isn't to take away from what they've done, but who are you comparing them to? You're comparing them to, like, when people talk about the civil rights movement, these are the two main people you even think of. The movement was a bunch of thousands and thousands of people, and the first two people that you think of when you talk about the civil rights movement is Dr. King and Malcolm X. Okay, for the most part. And then you got to actually think about other people who are involved, which there were a lot of other people involved. Okay, they're overshadowing Dr. King and Malcolm X, overshadowed thousands of other men who are also involved in the civil rights movement. So let's not do that like, oh, well, you know, the women always got to take a back seat and it's all about the men and the men got, no, you got to, let's compare apples to apples here. All right. Let's compare apples to apples. And then let's also compare the fact that both of these men were murdered. That's a big deal. Both of these men were shot to death in front of a bunch of people. That's a big deal. You know, that's a big deal that both these men were assassinated. That's a big damn deal. Okay? And I'm not saying that should have happened, but that's not what happened to Coretta and Betty. That's not what happened to them. Okay? So yes, their life is, let's gonna be honest, a bigger deal. Truth be told, there's nothing. I would be lying if I said anything other than that. That's the truth. I don't like it when you're coming up here being all like, well, yeah, and the women are overlooked, and the women. Listen, we can talk about our foundational Black American sisters in the movement. There's no problem with that. I think that's a good thing. I think we should do that. You know, we should do that. But, you know, when you're trying to make it seem as if they're taking a back seat because they're women, or you're implying that, you know, women are always taking a back seat and they're never spoken of. That's not true. And if you don't get that because you're not from here. That's the thing. Now you want to be on interviews and stuff talking about how foundational black, like as if foundational black American women have gone through like being overlooked. You're not even from here. What are you talking about? Let's be honest. When it comes to women not being overlooked, it's only FBA women, and keep it a buck, keep it real, to be honest, to tell the truth. How many, I want you guys to really think about this for a second. Let's let this marinate. How many white women do you see the dominant society pedestalize and highlight and show respect and reverence to? Not to say they have like a Harriet Tubman, but how many white women do you see like, oh, this was a famous activist, this was a famous inventor, this was a famous spokesperson? White people do not highlight white women at all. They don't pedestalize white women. They don't give credit to white women. They don't pay homage to white women. Not really. You can go to different. Harriet Tubman was so beloved in the community. There was conversation of her face being put on a damn dollar bill. Okay, now we know that didn't happen, but that's how beloved she was in the community, is in the community. Okay, folks don't talk. There's no white people talking about their women like we talk about Harriet, or like we talk about Rosa Parks. Even we got people who make songs and play movies and stuff like that, and got pictures and stuff of, and love to meet Rosa Parks. They don't have that. And there's a lot of respect that we still give even to this day of Rosa Parks about something that happened in the 60s. Okay, they don't do that to Sojourner. They don't have a Sojourner Truth or Ida B. Wells or anybody like that. They don't. No other community, okay, highlights their women pretty much at all, period, for the very most part. Foundational black Americans are really the only people that highlights, and I'm not talking about no ancient like Amazonian women or nothing. I'm talking about individuals, not no tribe of women. I'm talking about an individual, her life, trying to teach about her life and the lessons that she lived or learned and lived and taught. Nobody else does that. Nobody else has books about specific female icons in their lineage like we do. Get special TV programs and documentaries and stuff like that like we do. We the only people who do that. If y'all don't know, there was a whole bunch of, at one point in time, most of the Black Panther Party were women at one point in time. Most of them were. All right. And we give a lot of credit to the women in the Black Panther Party. Nobody else really does. Nobody does that. And you don't get that because you're not from here. And this is why they want, even in the Hidden Figures movie, the Foundation Black American Women, who were a huge factor in that. Okay. You don't get that because you're not from here. You're not from here. Okay. Which is why your movie didn't really land that well. And this is why when you look at stuff like Cynthia Erivo, which we're saying is still a rumor and it better not ever come true, we're looking at stuff like Cynthia Erivo and it's just not hidden. It's not hidden. And the thing is that everybody understands that. Everybody gets that. Everybody does. Nobody is confused. We get it. They get it. They understand that. Because let me show you. When it was us doing that to them, they felt some type of way about that. Let me show you this. Okay. Do you guys remember? I think when did this happen? This happened some years ago. Will Smith played a Nigerian doctor, and this was based off a real story. This happened in 2015. It says he played a Nigerian doctor who, I guess, found out there was a correlation between NFL trauma and concussions. And the movie was called Concussions. And a lot of people wasn't feeling Will Smith playing this Nigerian because Will Smith is not Nigerian. I'm gonna scroll down because then they kind of talk about the movie or all of that stuff. But I want to let you know they're making this about the quote unquote controversial thing. So when we step into their lanes, oh, it's controversy. Oh, they get it at that point. They get it now. Let me see. There was one person who said, where was the okay. Let's look at this. Quote, the Grammy Award winner tried to pull a Nigerian accent and failed woefully at it. Writes, I don't even know how to pronounce his name. Not going to try. For 36 knobs. Okay. Then whoever that is continues to say, we are not sure how hard it would be or how hard it was for the producers to cast a Nigerian. Okay. So you got to cast a Nigerian. If you want a Nigerian role being played, cast a Nigerian is what they saying. Okay, well, all right. Okay. Seeing as there are numerous talented Nigerians in Hollywood, numerous. Are there numerous talented Nigerians? Numerous talented Nigerians? I don't know. There's numerous ones. I mean, I can think of maybe two. I can't think of no numerous ones that were like, yeah, there's a plethora. I don't know all about that, but we'll see. Okay, and it says in this role, there's numerous talents in Hollywood in this role. But what we are sure of, it was quite hard for Will Smith to understand that we don't sound like a caveman coming to America for the first time, she added. Okay. Hollywood created an accent for Africans, which they use whether the person is Liberian, okay, Nigerian, or Rwandan. Will Smith learned it well. Tweet Nigeria. Okay, all right. Okay. All right. I mean, I get it. Look, I can't complain that y'all saying it if I'm saying it. But the thing is that that's kind of like delineation, don't you think? Okay. That's kind of like delineation. If we got a lot of moles, let me see something. If we got a lot of trolls in the chat room, I gotta do something with the trolls in the chat room. Hold on, I didn't see a lot of trolls in the chat room. Don't worry about it. I'll just do this then. You can take care of that, please, and thank you. Yeah, we get it. Okay, so if y'all understand that, then y'all should be able to understand that we wouldn't want somebody who's non-FBA playing an FBA person. We wouldn't want that. And we're being told that we're divisive when we say we don't want to see the Harriet Tubman movie because Harriet Tubman is non-FBA. I mean, Harriet Tubman is being played by a non-FBA. Or we don't want to see the Aretha Franklin movie because Aretha Franklin is being played by a non-FBA. Then we're being told that we're being divisive. And to make matters worse, she's not even respectful. Okay. Now, something that we do want to see, we do want to see biopics when biopics are done well. I will give you guys an example. There's an upcoming Michael Jackson biopic, and the person who plays Michael Jackson is actually related to Michael Jackson. Okay. It's not even just FBA. This is Michael Jackson's nephew, Jafar Jackson. Jafar Jackson is out there and he's trying to make sure he gets the dancing right, the acting right, all of that stuff, because Jafar, being the nephew of Michael Jackson, he got a lot on his shoulders playing this role. So, of course, being his uncle, there's definitely a certain element he's going to be able to tap into in this role. He's going to be able to know, okay, this is what my uncle used to say behind the scenes. So I already know what my uncle would say right here. So that's probably going to be a phenomenal movie, unless the production tries to throw some little agenda in there or something like that. I don't know, because they be trying it. But I think Jafar is probably going to do a very good job, seeing that that's his uncle and he grew up in a Jackson family and he understands the family, so he understands the dynamic. He's probably going to do great, and a lot of people are excited to see that movie. It's supposed to be coming out next year. And foundational Black Americans have always loved Michael Jackson and want to see Michael Jackson being portrayed correctly and fairly and justly. A lot of people want to see that. The thing is that when it comes to Michael Jackson, because I don't know what Michael Jackson is just an icon that ain't nobody else beating. Now they trying to say, now you got a whole bunch of tethers being honest, trying to say that we never messed with Michael Jackson like that. I posted this on Twitter. I want y'all to see this. Y'all look at this. This is something else. I want y'all to look at this. Okay. Y'all brace yourselves. I know this is going to be tough.
Last week, there was this whole Discord debate on who was the greatest artist of all time, Beyonce or Michael Jackson. See, one thing about Americans is they have this bad tendency of trying to remix history. Because I remember as a kid, Michael Jackson rarely toured in the United States. And I remember asking that question as a child. How come Michael Jackson always go on tour in Europe, but he rarely goes on tour in the US? And it wasn't until I did a quick Google search and realized Michael Jackson rarely toured in the US because Americans didn't fuck with him like that. He was not well received like that. He was the greatest entertainer of all times thanks to his global success, not American success. Because when he was alive, Americans didn't fuck with him because of that whole situation where he had to go to court twice for inappropriate relationships with a child he was accused of, right? And so he was slowly making his little comeback, but unfortunately, his untimely death took him out of the running because he was planning on doing the tour in 2009 before he died. I say all of this because I believe as long as Tyler builds her global audience, she's going to be fine. She will be all right. Keep your eye on the prize, work and grind, and do what you got to do. Because Black American women, along with Black Americans, let it be known they don't fuck with her. They don't rock with her, and that's okay. Build her fan base in South Africa, the rest of the African diaspora, Europe, the Caribbean, Central and South America, and leave the US alone. Since they want her to gentrify her identity, don't fuck with them no more. There are plenty of artists that are global superstars that don't fuck with Black Americans or don't even fuck with the US. Tyler is going to be all right. So I thought it was kind of interesting how people are trying to say that Michael Jackson is so awesome and so great, but come to find out they never fucked with him when he was alive. But they're trying to remix it now that he's dead.
Okay. Now they're trying to really, at this point, now they're just trying to take Michael Jackson from us. They're trying to take Michael Jackson from us. No, all of that stuff about we didn't mess with Michael Jackson, none of that was ever true. None of that was ever true. Nowhere in Michael Jackson's life, because he was a performer when he was a child. Okay, he was dancing and singing when he was a kid. Nowhere in Michael Jackson's life before he went solo or when he was in the Jackson 5 was it ever where Black Americans was like, nah, we're not messing with Michael Jackson. Even when he was doing the trial, first off, he was acquitted of, by all counts, okay, found completely innocent. And for the most part, FBAs didn't believe he was guilty in the first place, okay? We had faith in Michael Jackson. We didn't believe all of that bogus stuff that they were saying about Michael Jackson. We didn't believe that. And now they're trying to make it seem like Michael Jackson, because we're trying to say we made Michael Jackson. FBA is Michael Jackson is FBA, and Michael Jackson comes from an FBA culture. So now they're trying to create this separation between us and Michael Jackson. Okay, do you understand? So this is what we're saying. No, that's absolutely not true. And this is why Michael Jackson needs to be played by an FBA. In the movie coming up, Michael Jackson needs to be played by an FBA. Because we always did love Michael Jackson. And there's a certain element to Michael Jackson that we love. It's a certain vibe of Michael Jackson. When we listen to his music or we see his interviews or we see his acting or whatever the case is that we love. Okay. There's apparently it's a lot of trolls in the chat room. We got some Cynthia Erivo fanboys and fangirls in here. I'm not even gonna lose my mind over that. But let me get to the super chats before we get to the next thing. Shout out to Diamond. Diamond says, they not like us. Of course they not. They absolutely not like us, Diamond. That's very true. Okay. Omar says, British actors playing FBA historical figures is an attempt to dilute, that's true, and erase our history. Don't support no non-FBA roles. That's true. That's true. Okay. Tell it like it is. Says only FBAs can really challenge FBA. Yeah. Channel. He said not channel. Channel FBA. I'm like challenge. Channel FBA energy. Yeah. Only it's a thing. If you got it, you got it. If you don't, you don't. If you got it, you got it. If you don't, you don't. It's none. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Okay. Getting to the next one. Ida Cherry says, I still boycott. It's true. You should. I still boycott Cynthia since Harriet Tubman movie. That's true. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Omar again says, when Denzel played Malcolm X, he understood the assignment and embodied it out of respect of our historical reference. Yeah, that's true. He understood it. He got it. And you can tell he got it. And this is thank you for your support. Willis says, Holly weird, treacherous against FBA history. That's true. Damn, they are. Tell like it is again says FBAs play the role to truly embody the characters and tell a story. Non-FBAs do a good character. Non-FBAs do a good, but it's about payday, not the connection. It is. They're not really that into storytelling because they don't care about the story. They don't know about these characters. It's like, hey, I want a job. I just want to, as an actor, you constantly, or actor, actress, you want to be working. You constantly want to be getting roles. You constantly want to be getting gigs. You constantly want to be working. To them, oh, it's a job. Oh, that's cool. I mean, I don't know who he is. I can look him up. To us, like, oh, no, I want to tell his story. I want to be the person who brings his story to life. It's a very big difference. Very, very big difference. Okay. Especially considering the fact that Cynthia Erivo, of all people, is very much so against foundational Black Americans. Cynthia Erivo does not have no type of respect for FBA and FBA culture. She said a whole bunch of disrespectful things about foundational Black Americans. Let's look at some of the receipts we got. Check some of these receipts out real fast, okay? Do it. Now, this was all the way back in 2013. Mind you, she never apologized for any of these, by the way. Never did. She never apologized for these. And she says, I suppose I should really make an attempt to record, quote, single properly. I'm not sure exactly what she was referring to with that. But then this white dude, Joel, says, or attempt to sing to me daily. And then she goes on to say, okay, ghetto American accent, baby, you know I got you. I'ma sing it too. And she's trying to sound quote unquote ghetto. I'ma sing it to you, but I still gotta do what I gotta do. You feel me? Steen. Okay, hold on. This is she's letting you know how she feels with a quote unquote ghetto accent. I gotta do what I gotta do. Feel me? Really? Okay, that's how you feel, but that is how she feels because that's not the only tweet. She also has some retweets, some pretty questionable anti-FBA retweets. Let me show you all that. Okay, this is something she retweeted. It says, this is so, I don't know what the original post says, but the comment that she retweeted said, this is so wrong. Same people that will shout racism at a white man, not realizing how damaged they are themselves. It's not new that some, okay, African Americans are jealous of Africans in the US. Example, this person here, and she's talking about this. Okay. And Cynthia Erivo. So Cynthia Erivo, you think we jealous of you? Cynthia Erivo thinks we're jealous of her family. That's what she thinks. Cynthia Erivo believes that foundational Black Americans are jealous of her. Okay, all right. All right, you got me sound like Denzel. Okay, all right, okay, I got it. All right. And then next thing you know, I mean, we got a couple of receipts of Cynthia Erivo doing some kind of weird stuff. You know, we got a few receipts. Cynthia Erivo always doing something weird and funny. Okay, where she's tagging Issa Rae, who's non FBA, and then Yvonne, this is her other non FBA friends, bring joy to us women. More specifically, women of color, more specifically, African women. Okay, African women. All right, okay, cool. All right, if that's how you want to do, okay. Then hearing Abraham's West African accent makes me proud. Those two boys are incredibly talented. Okay. So, and now everything's about Africa and Africa and Africa. Now, I want you to keep in mind how she's talking about Africa versus how she refers to America. Oh, she loves it when people have a great West African accent and making women of color or African women look great and grand and stuff like that. But you want to talk about Americans and now it's a ghetto accent. You feel me? I gotta do what I gotta do, dog. You understand me, bruh? You feel me? Or now you feeling like we jealous of you. There's a lot of us, we scream racism, but we really jealous of Africans. So you showing how you feel about Africans and it's juxtaposed to how you feel about FBA. You're showing you got vitriol, hatred, and spite for FBA, but there's this upliftment of Africa. Okay, now I want you guys to keep that in mind because we're going to show you some more receipts about why Cynthia Erivo should never in her life play another FBA role. Never, ever again. Got to get this one off the screen. Got too many tabs up. Okay. Like I'm telling you, she got a lot of love for everybody who's not FBA. Look at this. Okay, she's tagging some other dude. Make me proud hearing your English accent next to all that American. London massive. Okay. So now you like England people and all that stuff. Now, when you look at this is from her Instagram where she's all like, we are all known as the Voltron, a collective of wonderful West African people. Okay, this is all a bunch of West African people, West Africa. Okay, cool. So this is how we doing. This is what we doing now. This is how we moving. Now, do you see the type of energy she's bringing to FBAs where she's talking about FBA women is ghetto and all of this stuff, and then next thing you know, she's sitting up there uplifting everybody else in their mama. That's very interesting. And then when you look at her friend circle is just as bad too. Looking at that, let me show you this. This is another thing. Make this bigger because it's a lot. Okay. Zoom in as much as you can. This is Cynthia Erivo when she looks somewhat a little bit normal. And as you can see, okay, this is Lovey. Lovey is, I guess, her gay lover or something like that. Nah. Okay, you are proof that God gives people. Da. But then I noticed something very interesting right here, where they says hashtag the Nigerian takeover. What does that mean? I can't make it any bigger because the font is already super small. But hashtag the Nigerian takeover. What does that mean? The Nigerian takeover. Look at it's a lot of little funny stuff that she's got going on with her little LGBT quote unquote friend that she didn't claim to be in a relationship with. Let me show y'all some of the other receipts. Okay, going online. Now, this was the Nigerian takeover, right? Okay, this is from the Lovey girl. Nigerian takeover. Okay. I'm an elitist African. Okay, sound like Tyler. Retweet this. Says I'm not a black nationalist. I'm a pan-Africanist. Okay, all right. Hold on. Listen to this. Adele sings like she composed all Negro spirituals and led slaves to freedom. She was Harriet Tubman's producer in the past life, for real. Okay, you thought that was funny? Like you thinking that is funny or something like that. Okay. Epic slave cry retweet is Morgan Freeman went blind from starring in a Big Bang. Okay. So look at this. Okay. Whoa, what is that word right there? I don't know who she's retweeting, but me, Akata, she's referring to a foundational Black American. She's arguing with somebody, calling us Akatas. This is Cynthia Erivo's girl, Lovey. Okay, the ones that they be, doing stuff with. Okay, they be playing with each other and stuff like that. A whole me, I beg, commit from here. I don't know what the hell she's even saying. She's probably speaking some other language. Here's the word Akata again. Okay, Akata is African way of calling she misspelled that, African American nigga. Okay. Define the word Akata. Okay, all right then. Okay. Black women #ghetto. Is you're 21, your mama is 36, and your granny is 50, and you got a 6-year-old girl. I know the Nigerians ain't talking with all of that out of wedlock birth that they be having going on in Nigeria. A lot of that stuff is projection. Y'all be having anchor babies and doing anything from a green card. This is where she's calling herself an elitist again. Okay. And this is her girl. They partners in crime. And this is and she was co-signing this. Cynthia Erivo was co-signing all of this. So they all have this problematic element to them. All of them do. Let me see if I find some more stuff. Because that girl Lovey, she was way more like aggressive with her anti-FBA talk and stuff like that. Cynthia, she said some stuff, but what she started to do is she started to just co-sign everything that Lovey was talking about. Because Lovey became her mouthpiece when Cynthia Erivo really tried to get on. Okay. Lovey became her mouthpiece. Cynthia Erivo, I don't know. I don't really know about, some of the stuff she's saying. Let me show y'all something else, because we're not done. I'm talking about it's a couple of receipts. It's a couple of receipts from Cynthia Erivo. Ask her how she feels about us being referred to as Akata. Look at this. That African and African American is the thing I understand more fully than most. If you think that a Black, don't know why she's saying that. And this is why we got to stop the whole African American thing. I'm glad we divorcing ourselves from that term. I'm so glad that we are retiring the term African American. Ain't no more African American. That's not what we doing. That's not who we are. We're foundational Black American. All right. So yeah, we've seen that. This is another one. Quote, and slightly ignorant and a touch of judgmental, you can presume to know what someone in her shoes has to deal with if you haven't dealt with it yourself. I don't know who she's actually referring to in this situation. I can't really tell you. But it's a lot of little funny stuff. And then she went on, when she started to get major roles, then she went on a deleting spree where she just started deleting anything and everything. She started deleting anything and everything that foundational Black, like, would offend foundational Black Americans. She was all like, oh, hold on, I can't say that now, can't say that. But the thing is that it's too late. It's way too late. First off, truth be told, you were never going to be it anyway. It never really belonged to you like that, no way. Truth be told, it was never supposed to be you anyway. Even if you weren't a tether, you just don't have the essence to you. It's never going to be you. But now that we know you are FBA hating, bed wench, or scissor something loving tether, oh, hell no. Hell no, absolutely not. You was not getting that role. You was not playing our role. You are not playing Aretha Franklin anymore. You're not playing that. You ain't playing no significant foundational Black American role. We are not letting that happen. We are not letting that happen with Shaka Khan. We letting it be known right now, even though it's a rumor, we letting it be known right now. We are not co-signing that. If y'all do that, it would be a huge waste of money. You won't see any type of money. Okay. You better go ask Essence how we stand on business. Ask the CEO of Essence before she packs up all her bags from her office because she's leaving that joint. Ask the CEO of Essence how we be standing on business. Ask them. You think somebody playing with you, ask them. All right? Because we don't be down. There ain't no more playing no more. Okay? Because it's too much of this cultural erasure. We cannot tolerate it anymore. Shout out to Willis. Willis says, no non-FBA man wants his family out in front of this beast. I mean, let's be honest. Let's be honest. That's true. Chosen says, never be afraid to be called xenophobic for the truth. Yeah, it's the truth. It's the truth. You might not like it, but it's the truth, okay? Elliot says, the agenda is to stop the black dollar replacing us in Hollywood is the same as the workforce and controlling the influence. Yes, very true. That's absolutely true. This is why when it comes to icons being played, they want the face of the icons to be represented by people who are not FBA. Because it dilutes the impact of the icon in the cultural significance of that icon, and it allows the icon's face to be put on a non-FBA person, which erases the lineage barrier that we have. It makes it seem as if when you allow somebody from outside the culture to play a cultural role of our culture, it makes it seem as if our culture is universal and anybody just gets to come and represent. All right. And that's just not true. Everybody doesn't get to come and represent our culture. If you're playing something that's culturally significant, it needs to be culturally represented. Our culture is not universal, so they're trying to universalize our culture, which is the first step of erasing it by saying that it's not significant or it's not exclusive to you guys. That means you guys get to put people in, and then you can push out the originators of that. They do that all the time, and it's meant to also water down the significant righteous impact of these people. That's what they're trying to do. All right. It's very disrespectful. Crystal says all skin folk ain't kinfolk. That's the truth. That's the truth. Okay. Yeah. Ava DuVernay, if this is true, because like I said, as of right now, it's still a rumor as of right now. So we don't know exactly if this is going to be true. But the rumor is that Ava DuVernay said that she was going to direct it. I would be disappointed in Ava DuVernay if she did decide to do it. I'm saying as of right now, this is a rumor and has not been confirmed. I'm trying to get ahead of this because I don't want it to be confirmed. I don't want this to be true. I don't want her to get no roles at all, period. I don't even want you to get non-FBA roles. How about that? I don't even want you to get non-FBA roles. Now, when it comes to historical figures, I definitely want that to be FBA. But when it comes to Cynthia Erivo, I don't want you to get nothing. Now, you can't say that's xenophobic because it's specifically Cynthia. When it comes to Cynthia, I don't even want Cynthia to be playing nobody. I'm so sick of seeing Cynthia Erivo's face, man. You don't understand. You don't understand. I'm so sick of every single award show, every single red carpet, every magazine, I'm so sick of seeing Cynthia Erivo. It makes me sick. I'm tired. I'm tired of it. It's frustrating. I'm about to start losing my hair like she did. I can't do it no more. I don't got the strength. I just can't do it, man. I'm tired of seeing her. I don't want her to be in nothing. I don't want to see her on no more red carpets. I don't want to see her on no more talk shows. I don't want to see her on no more interviews. I don't want to see her on no more magazines. I don't want to see her on no more nothing. I just don't. It's just exhausting. And I'm so sick of Hollywood. I don't know who is Hollywood trying to gas her and push her onto our community. They're really trying to force her, okay, onto us. And we are they trying to force her, and we keep blocking it. Okay, we don't want, the collective of the community has already spoken that we do not approve of that. Okay, which is why, and they keep trying to do it because Hollywood now Hollywood's always been this way, but Hollywood now is way more concerned with pushing out agendas than they are with even making good films. So this is why you see they'll strip a film and they'll do things to prevent a film from being good just so they can deliberately push an agenda, which is why, let's be honest, Hollywood ain't really doing that well. Not really. Not really. Hollywood is really not doing that well. The only movie you can really think of within the last couple years that wasn't like a superhero movie that did good was Sinners, and that's showing something, because Ryan Coogler pretty much made that by himself. He didn't really have a whole bunch of input from the people on top. He didn't have a whole bunch of input from, I guess the producers like Warner Brothers or whatever the case is. He was able to pretty much do what he wanted to do with that movie, and you see how people kept going back to see that movie. I've seen people talk about, I've seen that movie 3 times, 4 times, and I saw it on DVD, and I saw that when it got on, I think, HBO. You know what I'm saying? Because he was able to do what he wanted to do with the movie. So he didn't have Warner Brothers or Paramount or whoever push an agenda and be all like, okay, well, yeah, make one of the brothers like kill kids, like something crazy. There was nothing like crazy with the main characters. There was no like crazy agenda or something like that. He didn't make one of the characters gay. Like none of that stuff happened in the movie. Okay. And the movie, it was deep, and a lot of people liked the movie because the movie had a message to it. It was entertaining. It had a message to it. People enjoyed it from start to finish because Ryan, as an FBA brother, he was able to tap in the same way Denzel Washington was able to tap in. Now, it's all about it because it's beyond acting. Remember, it's beyond acting. It's a cultural thing. You understand? So whether you're directing the movie, and shout out to Michael B. Jordan too, because Michael B. Jordan is FBA, but whether you're directing a movie or you're acting in the movie, you can still tap into that cultural element that you need to really get it. That's the thing. Ryan really got that movie. Okay. And by him understanding the assignment, he was able to understand who he needed to cast in that movie. He was able to understand that. And he did an excellent job casting the movie. All right. This is why, because Ryan was able to tap in and understand that.
It's an opportunity for me to do some research about my lineage. And I had that opportunity before with the Panther films. And in that situation, me being a foundational Black American, my family has been here, for over 400 years, essentially, in North America. But the Panther films allowed me to travel back to the continent of Africa and spend time there and contemplate our distant ancestry as it relates to the continent, as it relates to the diaspora. This movie afforded me the opportunity to go back to my more recent lineage, 100 years or so, and go back to, the Mississippi, a state that I had never been to.
Okay. And go back to, and that's the thing. He's going back to Mississippi. Now, he hasn't been there until he started filming, but he's from Mississippi. So he probably got some cousins and stuff like that who might live in Mississippi or whatever the case is. But he was able to understand the assignment and he hit the mark excellently. Okay. And by him being in charge and him hitting the mark excellently, it also allowed an opportunity for all of the other cast members to hit the mark excellently. Everybody who played their role, every actor and actress who were in that movie hit their mark exactly the way they were supposed to, because everything was aligned the way it was supposed to, because it was set up by somebody who understood the assignment. Okay. Ryan Coogler understood the assignment when he made Sinners. And he knew that Michael B. Jordan was going to understand the assignment. All right. Spike Lee understood the assignment when he made Malcolm X. And he knew that Denzel Washington was going to understand the assignment. He didn't just randomly pick anybody like, hey, anybody want to be Malcolm X? Anybody? Okay, you. Okay, come on. He didn't do that. He knew who he needed. Just like Ryan knew who he needed. He needed somebody who was going to be able to understand and lock in and tap in. He can't just randomly pick somebody, pick a name out of hat. He can't do that. He got to get somebody who knows it, who gets it. All right. This is why being foundational Black American, we got to have that. We got to have that. And to be honest, we got to show that we're not going to tolerate anything less than that. At this point in time, I'm not, and I know you guys aren't, we are not going to tolerate anything at all less than that. Anything. We're not going to tolerate anything less than that. Honestly. We're not going to tolerate anything, especially when you're talking about some like cultural stuff. It'd be something if you're talking about like an alien movie and they going into outer space or something, whatever. But if you're talking about a culturally significant biopic or an adaptation of maybe the Jim Crow or whatever the case is, if you're talking about some cultural stuff, we're not tolerating nothing but the best. We're not tolerating nothing but the best. That's it. Okay, you are only going to make any money if you do it the right way. That's it. You got to go see if Ryan Coogler is available to direct this movie, because he's the only one who's showing that he's got the reputation I can rely on at this point in time, to be very honest with you. Everybody else, I don't know. If it's got to be somebody like Ryan, somebody who got a real good solid background, who got some good paperwork, okay, that I can see, like, okay, well, if Ryan is behind this, then yeah, okay, we're gonna be straight. All right. And y'all better leave him alone. Don't have Ryan be in charge and then y'all be trying to put y'all little 2 cents in and stir the pot. Don't be doing that. If Ryan is in charge, let him be. Okay, you got some other FBAs in charge, and see, that's how they mess up films too. They be having FBAs with credibility, but then they don't really let them work. If you're gonna have him in charge, let him work. Let them work. Let them do them things. Let them do what they got to do. Because they get it. And that's all we asking for. And to be honest, we're not tolerating none less. I'm not tolerating none less. And I know you guys aren't tolerating none less. Okay, April says, I don't want to see that weird Cynthia Erivo no more. I don't. I can't stand Cynthia Erivo. I can't stand it. I'm not saying that all non-FBAs are bad actors. I am saying that there is a specific lane that they can't touch. It is what it is. You might be a great actor or actress, but there's a specific lane. You can't touch that. You just can't, because you're not going to do it. You're not going to do it right. And maybe you want to, but you can't because you don't get it. You don't understand it. The same way I wouldn't go to Jamaica and play Bob Marley. Okay? I'm not Jamaican. I wouldn't, and I don't even think it would be right for them to pick me to play Bob Marley over somebody who might be Jamaican or who might have been to Jamaica. Okay? I wouldn't go over there and do that. I wouldn't do that. Okay? But you don't see Foundation Black Americans even trying. You see us being here and then them coming over here and taking our roles. All right? No, we're not. No. We're not doing that. No more. We letting it be known right here and right now. I dare you to cast Cynthia Erivo as Shaka Khan. I dare you. I dare you. You might as well take your dollar bills out, go to the bank and take out some money from the bank and then just burn it. Burn the money. You might as well just burn the money at that. You're burning money. Cast Cynthia. I'm telling you, cast Cynthia Erivo and just watch the money go up in flames. Just do it. You want to waste some money? Fine. There's easier ways to waste money. If you want to waste some money, just go ahead and do that. It might be a little bit faster for you to do it that way and less trouble for you to do it that way. Okay. I'm just saying. Try it. I'm telling you right now, with this is not it. This is not the time. This is not the time. I'm trying to tell y'all, Ask Essence. This is not the time. I'm trying to tell you. Ask Essence. Because if you don't understand what's going on, you're going to find out shortly. Family, I appreciate every single last one of y'all for being here with us this evening. That will conclude tonight. Appreciate that. April again says Cynthia is more suited to be a witch. That's true. In Wicked. I don't know if Cynthia is sick. I just want to say that. I don't know if Cynthia is sick, but Cynthia looks sickly. And it's not like, I don't know if it's drugs. I don't know what it is. But if you look at older pictures of Cynthia versus now, and I'm not talking about the fact that she shaved her head, which I don't. Okay. She shaved her head and bleached her eyebrows. So you don't even see no eyebrows. If y'all don't know, she used to have eyebrows. She bleached them. So you just see her skin through her eyebrows. But just her skinniness and face, it's woo, she is not winning no beauty contest no time soon. I can tell you that. I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you. She would play a great zombie. She would play a great zombie. You wouldn't even have to do that much with makeup. If I'm giving suggestions, I wouldn't see the movie, but if you want to cast her in a movie, I would say if y'all did another Walking Dead movie or something like that, another 28 days, 28 weeks or decades or something like that later, she would play a great zombie. Okay? Her head's already shaved. All you got to do is get her some torn up clothes, which, you know, ain't that hard. I think she would do it. I wouldn't see it. I still wouldn't see it. But if you want to give her something, she could do that. I think that'd be cool. Wouldn't see it though. But y'all, make sure y'all leave a like. Make sure y'all subscribe and make sure you guys are subscribed. Hit that subscribe, but make sure you guys subscribe. Thank you all to the new subscribers. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell. That way you do not miss out on anything that we show you guys. Make sure you guys do that. Okay, very, very, very important. All right, and make sure if you guys didn't get the notification, you guys can follow me on my various social media pages. Afroelite on Instagram, Afroelite on the Afroelite on Twitter. I appreciate every single last one of you, family. Thank you all so very much. Thank you. With that being said, we are not letting anything but the greatest of the great to portray us in entertainment thus forth. Okay, only the best of the best. Okay. The best of the best of the best. Okay. Remember that scene? If you guys seen that scene, in what is it? Men in Black, where he was all like, the best of the best of the best, sir. Like the best of the best of the best. We want the best of the best of the best. Okay. And we ain't tolerating anything less. You see how I rhyme that? You see the best of the best. We ain't tolerating nothing less. Oh no, come on. Don't get me started, y'all. Don't get me started. I might have another career going on. I might be a rapper one day. Don't even get me started. Don't gas me up. I know I can spit sometimes. I know I'm like that. I'm like that. But let me calm myself down. All right. But with that being said, my beloved family, my wonderful, beautiful Black family, foundational Black Americans, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening. I appreciate every single last one of you all. You all have a good one. Black first as always, and y'all stay blessed.